morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. So today we're doing cooking class with me, Chef Paul, and we're going to make two items today. One's going to be a very simple tomato sauce. It's my recipe that I've been doing for a long time. And we're also going to make stuffed zucchini. So here, so our ingredients are going to be two types of sauces. One, I use a crushed tomato, and I use a tomato puree, a little black pepper, fresh basil. We're going to saute some garlic and onions and olive oil. We're going to simmer it down. Perfect, very easy, very simple, perfect thing for your pasta. You're just going to add your garlic, you're going to add your onions, and we're just going to saute this a little bit until the onions start getting a little translucent. Sorry, Rugo. Now, usually to this mixture I add some red pepper flakes, but I thought I had them here, I didn't. So you don't have to use red pepper flakes. I usually do instead of black pepper. It's got a little bit more flavor. I don't put too much. It's not too spicy, so that's how I like to do it. Whatever it may be, if you don't have it, you have tomato sauce, you can use it. The only difference between tomato sauce and tomato puree is the tomato sauce is usually seasoned already. So, once this, again, we're going to saute nice. At this point, you can add both of these in. And then what I do is, I'm sure everybody's done it before, you take a little water, you wash out both sides, and you're only going to need maybe about a half a can of water. Maybe close to a full can, depending on the day. Humidity plays a lot. So I'm just going to grab some water real quick. Sorry guys, I'll be right there. So again, this is about a half a can of water. We're just going to add that to the sauce. Going to mix it up. Today, I'm going to need a little more. Basically, you guys know that tomatoes in a can are very acidic sometimes. So I put a dab of sugar in there, along with the salt. Again, you can use red pepper flake. I don't, in this case, I don't have it today, so I'll just take a little pinch of pepper. And then, fresh basil. And the fresh basil, you don't have to chop it up in any certain way. I just chop it up nice. You don't need much. You need a couple leaves, because if you put too much of this, as it cooks, it turns bitter. So, I put that in there, and believe it or not, it's done. All you got to do is just lower your temperature now for, give or take, about a half hour to 40 minutes, depending on how much you're making. And for our second course, we're going to make stuffed zucchini, which we have some nice green zucchini here, best time of the year for it. We're going to mix some chopped meat, pork, beef, and veal, which I have in the refrigerator right now. We're going to saute some garlic and onions, a little parsley, add some egg, breadcrumb, and cheese. We're going to mix all that together. We're going to stuff the zucchini. We're going to bake it. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Moving on to zucchini. You can use yellow zucchini. You can use green zucchini. For this recipe, I like the green. The summer squash yellow zucchini. It's got a lot more seeds and releases a lot more water when you cook it. Green zucchini has a lot of water in it, but it holds better. So you can do this two different ways. On the recipe I gave you guys, I told you just to cut this in half, cut the tips off, cut it in half, and then cut it in half again, which one I'm going to show you how you do. Or you can cut the tips off, just the one tip off, which is the acorn part of it, and then you can cut them in half and scoop it out. It's a little easier to do it the way I gave it to you, because when you cut this in half, a lot of times the zucchini is very fragile. So as you're trying to scoop it out, it'll end up breaking on you. So I'll show you how we're going to do this, and then we'll make the mixture for it. So basically, again, you just take a zucchini, and what I do is I just cut both ends off. Alright, then I'm going to cut it in half. And again, it also depends how big the zucchini is too. This one's actually pretty big, but half and half. So I did half, and now I'm going to cut the halves in half. So you should have 4 pieces. So now what I do, I take a spoon. You can use a knife, you can use a melon baller, you can use a spoon, any kind of utensil really. I use a clam knife sometimes. And what you're going to do is, you're going to gently scoop the inside, not all the way, you're going to keep digging until you get like maybe 3/4 of the way. And you want to be very gentle when you do this, because again, the zucchini is a little fragile. So, and basically what I'm doing, I'm coring it. I don't know if you guys can see that. You see how like it's emptying out? So I'll go a little bit deeper, because you want to leave a little bit of zucchini on the bottom. And what I usually do also for multi-purposing, the zucchini that I'm taking out here, these extra pieces that I poured out, I put it into like a little Tupperware, put them in the fridge. This, you can actually saute with a little garlic and onions and with a little tomato sauce and add it to your pasta if you want. That's what I usually do with like the inside, so we're not wasting anything. So, you see how we poured that out. So we're going to do that with the rest of them. Same thing. Then, I'm going to get a couple done here. Everybody good so far? Alright. Alright, one more. Okay. Good enough. Alright, so again, like I said, I keep all the zucchini ends, all the cored out. Again, you can saute it with a little bit of garlic and oil, a little pasta and sauce, and it's like a whole other meal. Okay, so we have our zucchinis ready. Now, as far as the chopped meat, I use pork, beef, and veal, just like when I make my meatballs. You don't have to. You can use all beef, you can use beef and veal. If you don't like pork, you can use all pork. But I like the combination because the pork actually softens up the meat a little bit, and it gives a little of that fattiness to it. But again, it's optional. You can do how you do. In this case, I use about a ½ pound. Okay, and in a bowl, basically, I'm gonna add garlic. This is about 3 cloves. I only need a little pinch. You don't want to make it too strong. Again, some diced onion, fine if you can. You'll need about, I believe about a ½ cup I wrote there. Chopped parsley, a couple of pinches. Breadcrumb, you're going to need probably about a ½ cup or so. And you might need a little more. It depends. Grated cheese, this is up to you. In this recipe, I won't use salt. I will use grated cheese for the salt because you know what salty is. Probably about a ½ cup or so. If I'm making it for me at home, I probably put like 2 cups because I love cheese. So, eggs. I believe on the recipe I told you 1 egg. The meat that I bought this morning is a little bit more. So what I usually do is I use 1 egg per ½ pound. So this is almost a pound of meat. So I'll use 2 eggs for this. And you're just going to put it in there. Nice, you don't have to beat them. Again, a little bit of black pepper. And you're just going to mix this up. Combine it all together. And you don't want to overwork it because the more you work it in, the tighter the meat becomes. So when you actually stuff these, it's not that it's going to turn hard, but it won't be as tender. So you just want to get it just enough combined, and then that's basically a mixture. So now, pretty simple. You're going to take some of your mixture, like you're going to make about the size of a meatball, and you're just going to stuff your zucchini, just like so. You can let it come over the top a little bit like a mushroom, and then we'll put it on a parchment pan. You can use any kind of baking pan you have. You can even put it in a frying pan, the one that that can go in the oven. Again, just basically stuff it just like that. And you do it with all the zucchini that you plan on doing. And that's it. So, now the easy part. Yep. And it's something different. So that's really basically it. Now you're just going to put that in the oven at 350 degrees, probably about 25 minutes, between 20 and 30 minutes, as long as your oven is preheated. The zucchini actually cooks really fast, but you want to make sure your meat is cooked. You're not putting a ton of meat in there, and it usually cooks pretty quick. What I usually do with this is I'll put it in the oven 350 for about 20 minutes, and then the last 5 minutes or so I'll put it on broil just to get the top a little crispy. It's just a choice I like. You don't have to do it that way, but that's the way I usually do it. And that's it. That goes in the oven, gets cooked, done. So basically, believe it or not, the sauce is pretty close, only because I'm on a commercial stove. It cooks a lot quicker. That's basically it. You boil your pasta. You can use it for anything you like. I also, with the zucchini thing, when this is done and it's ready to serve, I'll just take a little bit of tomato sauce and put it on top, just to give that a little kick. And that's it. Very simple. I'm sorry? Yeah, you can use chickpea pasta, you can use gluten-free pasta, you can use soy pasta, wheat pasta, you can use any of them. The trick with the chickpea pasta and the gluten-free and soy pasta is if you overcook it, it's almost like gum. You can overcook regular pasta a little bit, it won't be so bad. But when you overcook any of the gluten-free pastas or soy or chickpea pastas, they become extremely gummy because there's no egg in there to hold it together. So, but that's basically the recipes. I mean, I try to make it fairly simple. You know, not that you're going to be sitting in the kitchen, especially when it's 90 degrees out and sweating, to doing all this stuff, but. That's it.